Have you ever set a bunch of goals you want to achieve for yourself, and for the first 3 days, you're feeling super motivated and have all these perfect productive days where you're doing exactly what you wanted to do, and then all of a sudden you're not feeling very good, so you're saying, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, and then the next day you're not feeling as motivated, so you say, okay, I'll do this tomorrow, and then all of a sudden a few months have gone by, and then you realize you're nowhere closer to achieving these goals than you were in the beginning. Yeah, I am super guilty of this. I used to have this graveyard of unachieved goals for years, like learn a new language, learn how to cook better, start a YouTube channel. But months would go by and I would make zero progress on these goals. And then I would feel super guilty and super bad about myself, saying that I'm not disciplined, I'm not motivated enough, I don't have the right work ethic. And then I realized it is not about discipline, it is about our habits. If you have come anywhere near the self-help, self-improvement, productivity world, you have definitely heard of the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. I read this book 5 years ago and it is still the most impactful book I have read to this day. It so clearly explains why we should have habits, the importance of habits in our lives, and how to create and keep them. In his book, James Clear says the quality of our lives depends on the quality of our habits, and our outcomes are just a lagging measure of our habits. So for example, if we eat bad once, it might not show the first day, but over time, we will feel sluggish and not good. If we skip a workout once, it might not be bad the next day, but over time, we will not get the results that we wanted. So this really showed me that in order to achieve those goals that we set for ourselves, it is through small, repeated habits over time, rather than some big transformational montage or life story arc that sometimes we see online on Instagram. It is not as glamorous as that. It's really just making these small, mundane decisions every day to build ourselves to be the version ourselves that we want to be and achieve the goals that we want to achieve. Through habits, I truly believe we could achieve all the goals that we set for ourselves. So in case you haven't read his book yet, or even if you did and just need a bit of a reminder, I'm going to go over with you exactly how we're going to build those habits to reach our goals in 2026, according to James Clear. The first step is to make it obvious. So I'm assuming the reason we're struggling to do this habit is because it is not part of our nature right now. So because of that, we have to make this habit as obvious as possible. That includes limiting all the barriers that we have to start doing this habit. So one barrier could be like you don't know when or where you're going to do it. One of the tips that James Clear recommends is to set a time and location for this habit. If it is journaling, you can say, I'm going to journal at 9 a.m. in the kitchen every day. Set a time, set a location. And that way, those barriers, those easy barriers are eliminated. The next tip is habit stacking. We all have habits we do every day, whether we think of it consciously or not. We all might wash our face every morning, make a cup of coffee every morning, go take our dogs on a walk every morning. Habit stacking is stacking those old habits with new ones. So after I walk my dog in the morning, I'm going to go to my room and meditate for 1 minute. Habit stacking is an amazing way to also build a great morning routine. The last tip for Make It Obvious is to design your environment. You have to make your environment full of cues for your habit. The best way is a visual cue. So if you want to start going to the gym every morning, take your workout clothes the night before and lay it next to your bed. So when you wake up, you see those gym clothes. My favorite thing is I have a little meditation corner in my room. So I pass that every day, like all the time. It is a great visual reminder and I have meditated so much more this year because of it. The next step of habit formation is my favorite step, and that is make it attractive. It's like combining a little treat with every habit. James Clear suggests that you pair something you need to do with something you want to do. My favorite gym tip is to only listen to your favorite music at the gym. For me, I take it a step further and I only let myself listen to music at the gym. Like outside of the gym, I will listen to audiobooks or podcasts, but at the gym, I will let myself listen to all the music I want, which is so fun. And that makes me love going to the gym because I know at the gym, I could listen to all these new albums or my favorite songs and just like have a great time. So if anyone asks me my number one gym tip, that is mine. But anywho, so there's that, which he calls temptation bundling. And then Another way to make it attractive is to join a culture where this behavior is the norm. So if you want to start running, of course, join a run club. I feel like that's been super trendy these days. Or if you want to start reading, join a book club. And that way, when everyone around you is doing it, it makes it more tempting and attractive for you to do it as well. So another thing we can do is to create a motivation ritual. You're going to want to do things if you feel good after doing it. So for me, I really struggle with focusing and reading physical books. But if we pair like sitting down, lighting a candle, sipping a warm cup of tea with reading a book, I'm attracting these positive feelings with this habit, which will make me more likely to do it. The next step is to make it easy. Reduce any friction you can between you and getting your habit started. James Clear says to use the 2-minute rule, which means don't make it any longer than 2 minutes to get your desired habit started. A way we could do this is by priming our environment. Like I mentioned before, if we want to start going to the gym, we can lay out all our gym clothes next to our bed the night before so that when you wake up, there is no friction between you getting up and you getting changed into your gym clothes. Another really popular example is that if you want to start learning an instrument, put that instrument next to your desk so that when you take a break from work, you could always practice your instrument for like 5 minutes. A key point that is mentioned in his book is to master the decisive moment. There is usually one moment between you and the version of you that you want to become. If we master that decisive moment and repeatedly choose the habit to become the version of us that we want to become, then that will get us closer and closer to those goals every day. The last step is to make it satisfying. A really easy way to do this is to create a habit tracker. I like to use Notion with the little checkmark option, and every time I complete my habit, I just check it off and it's super satisfying and I love it. And then with this is to not break the chain. Try not to miss the habit 2 days in a row. The key to habit formation truly is repetition. So if you miss it one day, try to get back on it the next day. Review all the steps that I mentioned before, like make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy. See if we could tweak anywhere in there to make the habit the next day just a little bit easier, and then try again the next day. So that is everything on habit formation, and that is how we are going to be the best version of ourselves in 2026. If you enjoy videos about mindset, goals, becoming our best selves while still enjoying everyday life, I hope you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.